Next game up is going to be PME versus Don't Sleep. Now, this is kind of, you could say, a rivalry. Both teams know each other well. Last season, Don't Sleep was able to sweep PME last season. They beat them in 2 straight games, which is the regular season and the playoffs. And if I believe right, they beat them a combined 28-0.
Yeah,
Scored
14-0 both games.
both games. So this is more of a rivalry now. It's not the same PME team, and it's definitely not the same Don't Sleep team. As Don't Sleep comes in off of a loss to the Sharks, and PME is coming off a win to Never Scared. Now, the reason I say these teams are a little different is, Don't Sleep don't have the defense they had last year. Offense is still, kind of slow, but not for positive reasons. That's not done purposely. But on this PME team, they added Pablo, who's a huge addition to this team. They added Chad, who's another huge addition to this team. So this team is very efficient, coming into the season. Actually, if you look here on the list, their efficiency, this team's efficiency offensively, they're 5th in efficiency. And defensively, they're 7th, could be a little better, but they're very good, a very good offensive team led by Rel at the starting quarterback.
I believe that a lot of times with PME, they get in their own way. They make mistakes themselves that kind of cost them plays or cost them drives and eventually cost them games. So I think that is their main problem with PME. They could compete with any team in the league when they are focused on the game. When they start fighting each other and start making mistakes that cost them, that hurt them in the game, I think that's when they start falling apart. But once they're focused, they are teams. They are a very tough team to beat. That's what, my opinion on PME.
Now, the thing with Don't Sleep is, like I said, they had to come in as the same team that they were last season. They're missing a lot of players, but this offense was expected to step up this season, and they haven't. And Ream was expected to come in and give them a high pace, high offense, kind of opposite of what Casey did. And he hasn't really done it this year. Because I look at their offense is tied for 10th. Their efficiency is not well offensively. They're only scoring 34% of the time that they walk on the field, which is definitely not really a high upgrade from last year. And like I said, we'll get into that more as we get at the end of the game. They're only scoring 13 points a game, 11th in scoring. So they're not what you expect it to be, given why their record. And now they come into a rivalry game, especially missing a lot of guys. Guys came late. This team didn't look interested coming into this game.
I mean, it's hard to say that they look interested playing throughout the season. As you saw, as the season went along, a lot of guys wasn't showing up. Their draft pick Femi didn't have the best season, in the world.
When he did come,
that's what I'm saying. When he was here, he didn't really have any big games. You didn't really notice him on the field. And also, Reem, half the time he's not being protected. He doesn't have time in the pocket. He gets some big runs every now and then, but that's not enough to get into the end zone. So it's things like that pile up on his team. Their defense, they have a capable defenders, but it's hard to, play good defense when your offense can't score at all. So at the end of the day, this team doesn't feel this. They don't show as much heart as they did last year. That's all I'm gonna say. They didn't show as much heart as they did last year, and I think that they still haven't found a team that they need to be. How they have to play. They have to pick that up because it's towards the end of the season, and I still can't be certain that they're not a one-and-done team right now.
All right, we're going to go through this game. This game was very short. Don't Sleep came really late. It went straight through, and the game went kind of fast because, like I said, Don't Sleep got there late, so they played one straight half. We're going to jump right into the game with PME getting the ball. After getting the first down, Rel with 2 passes in the gap zone, getting him to the 15-yard line. Third down, Rel finds Chad cutting the back in the end zone. Get a touchdown. 6-0. PME strikes first.
And showing that they are short on their defense is not going to be looking too hot on that last drive. Rel took advantage of them leaving the gaps open. Tone was able to drive them down to the towards the end zone, and Chad was able to seal the deal with a touchdown there.
We're going to have second down. Reem going to get the ball. Reem is going to scramble on forward rush and throw a short pass to Rob. Rob is going to pitch it to Joel, who pitches it to Reem, who runs for a decent gain and a first down. But Rob is flagged for pitching the ball forward, lost to the player. And that's just trying to do too much, trying to find a way to move the ball as much as possible, and they still ain't able to get it as they get a flag. Reem with blocking from Rob, runs in the gap for a decent gain. Second down, Reem throws a Jingo on the sideline for a decent gain. That is a great catch by Jingo. This team was so short that Jingo stepped in to help him out, trying to help this offense some way, somehow. After getting a short run, Rob is flagged for cursing 15 yards back. I like Rob. I like his energy. I like his toughness. Sometimes he walks through a thin line. Sometimes he gets caught up. He's going to get a 15-yard penalty here. Last down, Reem on forward rush, throws to Rob in the gap, who pitches it to Maine. Maine runs in the middle, but gets stopped at the 5-yard line, turnover on downs. This team is really short. They miss guys. They don't got guys like Macho, Het. They main guys, Mike. They're missing everybody. I know it's raining, but this is not cool that they miss so many guys and they're going to get stopped. They tried to get whatever they could, and they're going to get stopped here.
And it's going to be a difference. You're going to see the difference when a lot of your star guys are not able to make it into this game, especially Mike, who's been having a really good season this year, and he's not there. You definitely see that he has missed, especially on offense right now.
First down, bro. Throws to Jaquan, opening the gap, who cuts on the sideline, runs all the way to the 3-yard line, getting him a first down. Bro finds Tone in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 12-0. PME scores again.
And because Don't Sleep is playing short and they can't really stop anything on defense, Rel and this PME offense is taking advantage. Now Jaquan is getting some passes on these drives, and Tone was helping on that last drive, and he gets a touchdown pass here to get them up 12-0.
After getting the first down, Reem scrambles on forward rush, runs in the gap for a decent gain. Rob gets flagged for the holding after the run, bringing the ball back. What do you think of the play?
I think that this is a play that hurts because this could have been a big play that probably helps in the drive, but Rob gets called for holding, for trying to protect Reem, trying to protect the person with the ball, trying to extend the play the best he can, but unfortunately he gets called for that hold that brings him 10 yards back. All the yardage gets taken away by that hold there.
Last time at the 40-yard line, Reem throws it up incomplete, turnover on downs, Don't Sleep gets stopped again.
And the thing about this is because it's a straight-through game, the mistakes that you make is going to hurt you that much more because the time is running. The time is constantly running, so you're going to have less possessions on the field. So this turnover right there is lessening their chances to even have a chance to come back in the game right now with them down 2 scores.
Rel is going to throw the Chad open on the sideline for a nice gain, picking up the first down. Rel then will block it from Will, throws to Pablo wide open in the gap, who runs it into the end zone, into the game. PME with the win, 18-0.
And the thing that you normally say is, you just got to play the team in front of you. Doesn't matter what they're going through or whatnot. You just got to beat the team in front of you. And that's exactly what PME did. They took advantage of the fact that they didn't have a full defense, scored in the gaps, took advantage and got into the end zone three scores in a row. They weren't stopped once in this game. That just shows that they had no challenge in this game. But they did their job. They come away with the win. There's no shame in this game. You can't worry about the other team. They played their game, and they got the easy win here.
I'm going to go through PME first, and I'll talk about Don't Sleep. PME needed this game. They needed this game badly. And they got this game. At the end of the day, is it a great feeling for them? No. They know Don't Sleep was missing more than 60, if not 70% of their guys. So they're not going to sit down and talk junk or hang their hat because they know Don't Sleep was not at capacity. But the standings don't know that. They got a win that they had to have. Their team was here. They was here early, and these guys are coming from Queens. So they know how important this game was. It didn't matter to them that it was raining. They did what they were supposed to do, and they come away with a win. Bro has been playing very well this season. Jaquan has definitely stepped up as a leader to this team. Pablo has very much shown why he's here, and I think the big acquisition of signing Chad give this team more of an identity and a big swagger to go with Carmine.
I mean, yes, and one thing you could say about Chad is he is a playmaker on both sides of the ball. So that is a huge pickup, and he's showing that, it was a big pickup for them because he's performing well for this team. The thing about Rel is, regardless of what's going on Don't Sleep being short, I think the best benefit is that Rel is able to keep in a certain rhythm in his game, moving on to the next game, and I think that that's the biggest benefit that you're going to get. Keeping him comfortable, keeping him in a good rhythm, leading into the next game.
And Doughboy has done a great job with the team.
Yes.
Like I said, they got a different energy. They seem like they're having a lot more fun from last season. They didn't have fun. They argued a lot. We barely seen them do that. I don't remember seeing them do it at all this season.
Yeah.
You got to give a shout to Doughboy. Definitely great acquisitions he made. Definitely got the team in a different spirit. Shout to him. Now on the other side, Don't Sleep. Yes, they were short. But to me, today, this team didn't look like they cared. They looked like they just wanted to be out there. They didn't want to forfeit. They did not look interested. What do you think?
I mean, honestly, I got the same vibe as you, and that's troubling for me because when this team is all here, they have a capable team. They have good defenders there out there, and they have some offensive players that can make plays. But one of the main things that they struggle with is attendance, one, and two, they didn't have anybody that can regularly protect Reed. Hopefully, Rob can fill that gap, protecting Reed, sans him not getting so many holding flags. But the attendance and people not showing up, it speaks for itself. The fact that Remy was their draft pick and he's not really having such a hot season right now. Reem's numbers not looking so hot. One of their best guys has been Mike, being consistent, sometimes even throwing for them and scoring in the offensive end. So at the end of the day, this team has a lot of picking up to do because they have such a short amount of time to recover when it leading towards the playoffs. I believe that they have a chance, but their time is running out because I think they have 2 weeks left.
I'm gonna show you the issue I really had. I had to break it down, look at the numbers, and I figured this out. We're gonna have two people on the screen. You're gonna see, I always like to have a dark image to compare this guy to. You're gonna see Reem here on this side. Reem numbers. Reem numbers is 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 6 times sacked in 6 games. This offense is averaging 11 points a game. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the other side as we fill in the screen. The guy that he replaced, KC, 6 touchdown passes, 8 interceptions, 4 times sacked. But they averaged 9.8 points a game. But the main thing is, in 5 games last season, because we're not talking about 2 forfeits that Don't Sleep got. We're talking about in the 5 games that KC threw, this team was 2-1. In the 6 games Reem has thrown this season, this team is 1-5.
Yeah.
So I was kind of putting it on Reem. Then I realized something interesting. Can't put it all on him. You know what I got to put it on? The defense. Last season, this defense gave up 10.4 points a game. Look how many sacks. 12 sacks last season. Right? This season, you know how many points they're giving up? 19 points a game, and they have 6 sacks. They did 10 points in 12 games in 5 games last season. In 6 games, they've given up 19 and only have 6 sacks. They doubled the amount of points they give up, and they cut the sacks in half. That's why the team is 1-5. You missed Benny,
Yeah.
AI's not having the season he had last season. And that is the main issue that happened to this team. Now, I had said, listen, make a trade. AI's not having the season you wanted him to. You trade him to 99. You get Book, who's not getting the playing time that he got last season because he struggled. And you bring a blocker for Reed. Reed dominated in EHS when he had a blocker. And, people said some weird comments and, I called a lot of things, some disrespectful things, but I'm not going to give that light. First of all, I'm not saying this is what you have to do. We cover the show just like it's the regular media and what we think a team needs. AI is not playing to the level that you expect him to, and your quarterback is struggling because he's not getting the blocking he had last year. So why I said you bring in Book, because you get Reem a constant blocker, because I like Rob, but Rob is an offensive. He can play offense. He can catch the football. He can make plays. You're limiting him by leaving him at blocker. I thought that would be a good deal. It's just me. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I thought that was necessary for them to do. They don't need to do it.
Yeah.
They're free to do whatever they want. But I thought it was a good idea because it's what they need. They needed some type of spark, and I think Book's blocking would help them. But at the end of the day, their defense has suffered. Reem has had a great season. As you saw his numbers and you saw he ain't really stepped up the way that they wanted him to. But this defense is the Achilles heel of this team.
Honestly, a lot of that is shocking. Like, I'm not going to say about the trade. I don't know if they'd be willing to do it, but you would have to have the other team do it too.
It's already over. It's already passed. Yeah. It was just an idea. It wasn't a disrespect to anybody. It was just an idea. But go ahead.
Yeah. But my thing is, at the end of the day, they knew these problems walking into this league. They had these problems walking in, and they never solved it. They still don't have a regular person that can protect Reem. Their attendance is still an issue. Their draft pick isn't worth the stock that they used to get him.
It was a bust. The draft pick was a bust.
So at the end of the day, there's a lot of things that they I would say miscalculated, but they didn't adjust, and especially the defense. We spoke to Maine. Maine said that he was gonna have their defense playing really well, locking up, and with the strategies and all of that. And they look good one game, but then 2 games look terrible. They show a glimpse of life one game, and in the next 2, they look horrible, or they don't show up. So at the end of the day, this is not a formula for them to get into the Final Four. This is not which they were in last year. If you can't make it that far, then this season was a complete bust. It was a waste of time. So they have a task to at least reach the Final Four. Otherwise, they went backwards. So with the way they're moving right now, it looks like they're already stepping backwards. They got to fix it and fix it fast. I don't know if they can, but it's up to them to figure out how.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. But the main thing I want to just throw in pretty much, piggyback what you said, they miss Benny.
Yeah.
But the more important person that they miss other than Benny, they miss Happy. Happy was the one that they got blitzed in. Happy was their blocker last year.
Yes. So they lost. Braulio. They missed Happy. They missed Benny, and they also missed Malik, who's also playing with the Raiders right now, playing really well. Especially, helping out with their defense. So all of these players, Happy as a blocker, but Benny and Leak would have helped them with their defense. And I think that they're sorely missed on this defense right now.
All right, we're gonna wrap this one up with PME coming over to win 18-0. We'll be right back.
9, 8, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4.
right, next game up, we're going to have Rep City, the defending champs, versus Braulio. Rep City's coming in off of a win to Never Scared, and Braulio's coming in off of a loss to Grind Time. I like Braulio when they have everybody. When they have everybody, I think they're a very formidable team. Their defense is something that I think is a little underrated. Their defense is 6th in the league. They're giving up 15.6 points a game. Now, their offense, they're only averaging 6 points a game. That's about a touchdown a game. But they haven't really had anybody this season. This game, they have more, I believe, the most guys they had all year.
Yeah.
And I think that's great in order to play the defending champs. Listen, don't sleep on Dave. I played Dave when I back in my heyday when it was UFL. They beat me in 2 championships. This guy's formidable. He's similar to a KC who kills the clock, but he's also able to make more big plays than KC does. No disrespect to him, but that's just his game. And he has a lot of weapons on the team when they show up. On the other side, we saw what Rep City is capable to do when they're motivated and they're focused. They had basically like the ring ceremony last week, you know, so it was all points go, and they were ready against Never Scared, and they was able to come away with the win. These two teams have something to prove to the league and definitely to each other as they're in the same division.
I mean, one thing we got to say is Braulio, even though they haven't really looking like the best team, they haven't had the best attendance, they still hold teams. Their defense played really well.
Right.
They keep the they don't really give up more than 2 touchdowns per game. I don't have the numbers.
Yeah, they're 6. Their efficiency, they're 6. Yes, sir. Okay. As you can see on the list here.
So regardless of how many guys they have, whether it's 10, whether it's 6, whether it's 15, they still have a capable defense. They find ways to make plays on defense. So regardless of what team they have, they find ways to keep teams from scoring. So that is a saving grace for this team.
I agree.
And that just shows that when they have more guys on the field, they're able to perform really well, and that's exactly what happened early in the season.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game. Red City will not have 2 of their main players. They will not have Wesley, who had 3 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
Or Matt, their draft pick. And Braulio will not have their draft pick in Matrix. We're going to jump right into the game. This game goes straight through, so it's going to be kind of quick. So let's jump right into it. Braulio starts off with the ball on a 4-and-out. Dave with 2 passes to Asa in the gap for a decent game. 3rd down with blocking from Asa and Happy. Dave throws the top on the sideline for a nice game, getting him to the 10-yard line. If you look here, A-Rod is playing too far back, leaving the top wide open. 4th and goal. Dave finds Disco in the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0. Braulio scores first.
And one thing you got to understand with Dave is if you give him the gaps, he's going to take them. And that's exactly what happened with the first 2 passes to Asa. Then he gets that big play that's thrown to Ty on the sideline because they're not communicating. They're playing too far back. They give up that sideline, and Ty's left wide open, getting him into the end zone. And all that was left was for Dave to finish the deal with Disco. All of these guys find ways to perform on this offense, and they get the first score here.
Rep City's going to get the ball. They're going to go 4-and-out. 2nd down, Hood throws the route wide open on the sideline, getting to the 10-yard line. 4th and goal. Hood throws the route in the front of the end zone. Bro bobbles it, catches the ball, falls out of bounds, turnover on down. Bro has to make these catches. I've been talking about Bro his whole career about not being the player that he should be on every down. We just seen him come up on the sideline on a wide open play, getting to the 10-yard line. And we see him bobble a ball that could have been a touchdown and go out of bounds, causing a turnover. Bro, career, he has been inconsistent. It's hard to think that he's going to be in the UFL like a Hall of Famer player because it's inconsistency, not because of talent, and they're going to get stopped here.
And that hurts because this was definitely a touchdown pass right here. And if you look, some believe that he, did fall inside the end zone, that it wasn't that he fell out of bounds. But if you look at the play here, right when he establishes contact, it's all about when he establishes contact.
Right.
By the time he establishes contact, he's already landing out of bounds. So at the end of the day, that is a good call. He was, because he didn't catch it clean, it makes it to the point where the ref has to determine when he has possession, and he basically had possession when he was already falling out of bounds. That's unfortunate because that was a huge play that was supposed to lead to a touchdown.
Holland's going to struggle to move the ball, and they're going to have to punt. Second down, Hood throws the A-Rod on the sideline, just knocked away by Wakanda. Third down, Hood is blitzed by Dave, blocked by B-Dog. Hood throws the Debo in the middle for a decent game. Gotta get Debo involved, especially when you don't got Wesley or Matt. Great play there by Hood. Fourth down, Hood with blocking from B-Dot. Throw to Sheamus in front of the end zone. Happy gets the hand in the incomplete turnover on downs. And this is why I like this Braulio defense. They're capable of making stops, making plays, and they stop Rip City for the second time.
And the thing about this play here is if Happy's not there, this is a touchdown. Because Sheamus is a guy that's known to make some big catches on this team. This would have been another one. Happy's able to get a hand in. Happy has that defensive knowledge, being a two-way player. Not the same as he used to be, but he shows that he still has the IQ to know where to go, where to be on defense, and he's able to make that big play for the turnover.
Hey, those of VIP in the gap, knocked away by Meach. Third down, Dave is blitzed by Meach, who's blocked by Asa. Dave throws to Wakanda, cutting in the gap. No, incomplete. Braulio has to punt for the second time. This offense, like I said, has struggled all year, but they like to kill clock, and then they'll give you the ball back. So they do that, but I don't know if I like this recipe. They got to find a way to put up some points, and they're going to have to punt again. Hood with blocking from B-Dot is still sacked by Asa. Look here, Celo's wide open on the sideline. Third down, Hood throws deep to Terrell on the sideline. Bro, not looking, and overruns the ball. Incomplete. Rep City has to punt again. This is what kills me. Hood and Rel are like brothers. How are you not able to be consistent in this passing attack? I don't understand it. It's something that baffles me, and this is another stop by this Braulio defense. Second down, Dave goes to Wakanda in the gap for a nice game. Like I said, I like this guy, Wakanda, definitely looking to make that all-star team and possibly rookie of the year. Fourth down at the 45-yard line, Sage throws the Ace in the gap. That's going to be dropped. Turnover on downs. They can't even get a first down.
It shouldn't be a drop pass. Ace is a veteran. You shouldn't be dropping open passes like that. That's unfortunate because that leads to another turnover for Braulio.
First down, Hood with blocker from B-Dot. Throws Rel in the gap. Picked off by Happy, giving Braulio the ball right back. If you look here, Sheamus is open short, but still trying to force Rel involved and throws an interception. Great play by Happy. Say he's not the same player he used to be, but he's still capable of making plays. Big play there for his defense.
Listen, I mean, if you look at this play, Hood was focused on one part of the field because Sheamus is clearly open short. This could have been a bigger play for probably 15 or more yards, but Hood is trying to get more than he needs to, trying to get a Rel into the game, and Happy's able to read that and make the interception, picking his brother up for that drop pass on the offensive drive, getting this offense right back on the field.
Dave with two passes short in the gap, getting into the 45-yard line. Fourth down, Dave is blitzed by Meach, blocked by Happy. Dave throws a tie in the gap, that's going to be dropped. Turnover on downs, Braulio gets stopped again. This is going to be, remember, it is still 6-0 Braulio. Good with two passes to Celo in the gap on the sideline, for a short game. Third down, Hood with blocker from B-Dot. Runs in the gap, getting to the 15-yard line. Fourth down, Hood is blitzed by Happy. With blocking by Celo, Hood throws it up incomplete. Turnover on downs. Braulio comes away with the win, 6-0 to get their first win of the season.
6-0. That just made the point that I made earlier about their defense. They kept Rep City, who was able to score 35 points in the last game, to 0 points in this game. Shout out to them, regardless of what happened on their offense, because their offense didn't look so hot, but their defense stepped up and won the game for this team. This is a huge win, showing that their defense needs to be taken seriously. like I said earlier, even if they have 6 guys, where they have 15 or whatnot, they still perform on defense, and they're capable of winning games on that alone. And finally, they're able to get one, 6-0, but a win is a win, and I'm sure they'll take it.
Bottom line, this is the way Braulio wants to play. They score 6 points a game. That is their average.
Mm-hmm.
They want to score and kill the clock. Shouts to Dave. It don't matter. Nobody's going to care that they won 6-0. In the standings, it's a win.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. This style is a win. That's all that matters. Their defense played great. And like I said, when their defense shows up, they're able to make plays. So you got to give them a shot. I don't care if it's only the first play of the game. Disco's able to get in the end zone. Listen, that was a veteran move, veteran play by a veteran player. This team has weapons, but they're not trying to shoot out with you. They're going to score 1, maybe 2 touchdowns if they're lucky, and they're going to play tough defense. Shout to Dave and his guys for getting their first win of the season. And Rep City, listen.
Yeah.
Gave him a shout last week, and I think I got overly hyped about this team. I should have stood with my original thought. This team just looked as one of the worst defending champs ever. I thought they got it back after a win versus Never Scared. But no, they don't. They look, again, like a team that expects to turn it on and off whenever they want to.
Mm-hmm.
It does not work. That will not work this year. You scored no points against a team that's fairly still kind of new and just got their first win of the season on you. Not looking good. Definitely not looking good. Rel has been inconsistent. Meach is, when he hasn't been around the whole season, and when he has showed up, he's made 1 or 2 plays, but not on the all-star level as he used to be. Wesley wasn't here. Matt wasn't here. And this team has problems. I thought they solved it last week. It doesn't matter that Wesley's not here. When you play these teams in the playoffs, they're not going to let Wesley kill them. They're going to try to make the other guys big plays. We've seen Debo come in with 1 big catch. That was it. They didn't really get Sheamus involved in the passing attack. We didn't really hear one of the most consistent guys all season in A-Rod. And it's a shame. I'm not going to really get on their defense because they held Braulio to 6 points, but that's all Braulio scores anyway. So right now, this team is still searching for identity, and they're still on track to be one of the worst defending champions of all time.
I'm just going to be short and say that pointing out 2 games that they had an opportunity to win, that they lost by 1 touchdown. This game and when they played against 99. It was a back-and-forth battle. Remember we was talking about how Sleddy was getting cooked left and right and all of that? Right. They lost by 6 points in that game as well. And that is the one difference maker that you have to bring up. A drop touchdown pass by Rel. What happened in both games.
Yep.
Right in the end zone, right in the red zone for the score. He dropped a touchdown pass in both games. Now, I'm not trying to say, oh, it's Rel's fault and all of that. But my thing is, all I'm saying is, they're always right there. On the games when they show up or whatever, there's a couple games where they were right there and they don't perform the way they need to. There's 1 play or 2 that they mess up on and it causes them to lose. Their record could be completely different. Even if it's only 2 wins, these are games that they had in their hand. So are they capable of winning these games? Yes. But is this games that they themselves give away? I believe so. And I think that's the issue. It's not that they're not good enough to win these games. It's that they let these games fall out of their hands. And I think that is their main problem that they have to fix leading into the playoffs.
All right. We're going to wrap this game up. Braulio coming away with the win over the defending champs, Rep City, 6-0. We'll be right back.